Let's talk now just briefly into the idea about an infinite series. Now, an infinite series is the sum of an infinite sequence. So if the sequence an is A1, then A2, then A3, then A4, then the series is the sum of A1 plus A2 plus A3, so forth, which I would write as the sum n equals 1 to infinity of an. So an infinite series is just simply the sum of every value in the sequence. Now, quite often we start our subscript with 0. So we may see the sum n equals 0 to infinity of an. You may also see this as the sum n equals 0 to infinity of an plus 1. There's different, and we'll get into this much later why we want to use these different forms, but all of these are actually infinite sequences. Infinite series. It's the sum of infinite sequences. Now, typically what we want to do is we actually want to be able to add these things up, or we want to be able to approximate the values. There are times when we really don't care what the number is, but really the question may be, does the series converge? Depending on what our work is, our actual interest in what it converges to may be nil. We may not actually care what it converges to. The mere fact that we know it converges may be extremely important, or vice versa, if the mere fact that we know that it diverges may be extremely important. So what we're going to start concentrating on from here on out is taking a look at a closer look of these infinite series, and we're going to be developing various techniques of being able to approximate what the value is of an infinite series, or determine if the series simply converges or diverges. Now, before we jump too much into infinite series, we will be taking a little bit closer look at sequences, and in some ways attaching the idea of a sequence to a series to see how they relate to each other. And then we would definitely jump into a bunch of techniques to determine if a series will actually converge or diverge. And in addition, there are a bunch of series that are actually named series because they show up so often. And I'll introduce you to a bunch of different named series.